Brace yourself, because today I'm going to reveal the real reason why many people never develop a solid piano technique. Not because they lack talent, not because they don't practice enough, but because nobody ever showed them this one thing, a fundamental principle that, if neglected, will quietly sabotage your playing for years. I've taught hundreds of students, many of them desperate, frustrated, and on the verge of giving up because their technique was holding them back. Many of them came to me not for interpretation, not for artistry, but for help, for rescue, and I saw the same problem again and again. A simple issue that should be solved in the first year of learning. But we live in a broken system where far too many piano teachers don't bother to learn how to teach technique properly. I'll tell you how it should sound, they say, but I don't care how you make it happen. Honestly, I think this attitude is a crime. I've seen brilliant potential crushed, I've seen hand injuries, collapsed careers, and years of progress undone just because nobody cared enough to show the students the right way from the beginning. So let's fix that. Of course, one video and one tip would not solve all your issues. That's why I have developed a massive course which includes 20 hours of video lessons dedicated to piano efficiency and rebuilding your technique. Check it out following the link in the description. But here, let's at least put the first stone to our fundament of an efficient and powerful piano technique. So if you want to play piano really well, this has to be mastered early on, ideally from day one. And if you didn't build up this skill so far, I really suggest you to revisit your piano playing and implement it ASAP. So what is this? What is this principle? This is the relation between the wrist and the knuckles. Sounds simple, right? But it's huge because so many people play with a high wrist and it causes all kind of issues. So if you see something like this, when somebody plays with a high wrist and collapsed knuckles, this is a major issue, this is a major problem because it creates tension, leads to injury, and worst of all, it prevents you from developing the right muscles which we need for piano playing. You can practice for 20 years like this and still have weak fingers that collapse under pressure. And if you're aiming to play virtuoso pieces on a professional level, forget it. That tension will betray you every time. So here what needs to happen when we play piano, what we really need to remember is that the wrist stays at the key level. Not lower, not higher, but exactly at the key level. The forearms are parallel to the floor. The knuckles are always higher than the wrist. This is what we say a good hand shape, where the knuckles are strong and the fingers are able to withhold the weight of the whole arm. There is one exception to this rule: wide chords and octaves, so things like this may allow us to raise the wrist a little bit, but nevertheless, the knuckles don't dare to collapse. They must withhold, like that. So this is not an option. So if you want to start fixing your technique, here are a few simple exercises. Take something like a mango. This is actually a perfect size for this exercise. Lock your fingers firmly, then move your wrist around like this. So get used to this independence of these two parts. Strong, firm fingers which hold the object and flexible wrist which allows you to move around. Then try to relax the wrist as much as possible while holding this object. And shake your arm gently by using another hand in order to feel the tension in the fingers, but relaxation and flexibility in the wrist. Because we have to get used to the idea that these knuckles and the wrist are separate entities. They can work and rest separately, independently from each other. Then, when practicing piano, use your other hand to hold your wrist while you play. And while you play a note, just stay there for a bit and move your wrist using your other hand, just to get used to this flexibility, but keeping as much stability in the finger as possible. So my finger is really strong. I could put a few kilograms of weight on that knuckle and it would not collapse. But my wrist nevertheless remains flexible. So this is our goal. Practice in front of a mirror. So when you play a scale, for example, watch your wrist and make sure that it doesn't move up If necessary, even hold it with another hand at the key level. Of course, you have to master proper hand position changes. Like for example here, preparing your thumb while playing fingers 2-3 and opening your hand quickly while hitting the thumb, avoiding wrist. So this is wrong, yeah, and this is wrong, yeah. We don't do those motions. So our wrist is absolutely neutral. It doesn't move when we play scales. So that's absolutely essential. And of course, I have a few videos on scales and arpeggios which cover those principles. And train each finger to hold the weight of your arm while maintaining a flexible and relaxed wrist. So this is the foundation. This is the key to real progress and real transformation of your piano technique. If you are interested to keep developing your piano technique and mastering great piano pieces, check out my courses following the link in the description. Thank you for watching this and see you next time.